if it doesn't.
Tonight, the bell rings and the stories begin. Welcome to the ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, people, wrestling fans, sports entertainment, crazy folk, I'm a little calm and somber. Not because anything is crazy. Yes, it is WrestleMania Saturday, but it's starting to get a little interesting now. We started to see some things come together now. We're preparing for what's going to transition tomorrow now. If you haven't realized, it is the Super Bowl for wrestling fans. It is that one time of year where we can all come together and be pissed, be happy, be excited, be crazy, be joyful, be emotional, and reflective all at the same time. Welcome to the Wrestlemaniacs. It is myself, the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez. I got the Nubian Sumo joining me, and it is WrestleMania Saturday. As always, if you enjoy what we talk about, what we do, how we do it, and the craziness that comes through the WrestleManiacs, as well as the rest of the Sideline Junkies podcast network, make sure, as it says down at the bottom, you like, follow, subscribe, pull a coat, ride the wave, hitchhike. We don't care how you get with us. Just stay with us 24/7, 7 days a week. Sumo, wrestling, what up? The Mania. Anthony checking in.
Interesting show tonight. Nothing too overwhelming. Couple of pleasant surprises. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was a decent show. I mean, it's been like the past few years that Saturday has not been what the same caliber of show as Sunday is. So we still got Sunday to deal with and see what that, if it makes it any better. But for what it was all right. It did what it was supposed to do, I guess.
Well, before we get into tonight, let's roll back about 24 hours, or almost 24 hours, and right about midnight Eastern Standard Time, the Hall of Fame ceremony. We had it start off with my boo Stephanie McMahon. So she got her time in. She was inducted by her three daughters and Linda McMahon. But the biggest narrative, truthfully, coming out of the entirety of the Hall of Fame was the V word multiple times. And V word being Vincent Kennedy McMahon being announced and talked about and dare I say revered in different conversational spots. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, I thought you were going to bring up the fact that Rodman said shit twice.
That's nothing. It's Rodman. You could just write off that whole thing because you knew that was going to be whatever. I wasn't expecting there to be any rhyme, reason, chaos, or or notice I said no chaos. It's Dennis Rodman. You get what you get. But going back to Vince, the common narrative pretty much up until AJ Styles. Yeah. And then for a splash Hogan. So I guess you could call that Vince as well, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame was pretty good. I mean, for them to, I see that they're going to start giving the headliner the first award, they're doing the headliner up front now to make sure that they get all their time in. So I see that's supposed to start to be a trend now. They did it with Undertaker, they did it with Paul Heyman, so I guess they're doing it. You would think they would seem like AJ would be the headliner, but
it's kind of hard to refute a McMahon going in.
Stephanie came out last tonight, so I'm thinking that she would be the headliner.
But she is the first modern day, no disrespect to Vincent J, but the first modern day McMahon out of the WWE machine era. As you mentioned, even Linda technically didn't go in. She would have been first, if anybody, from the women's side of things. But Stephanie was the first one.
And for them to mention Vince, I mean, they're going to mention Vince. I mean, if Vince did anything for them at all, somebody's going to mention Vince. So, I mean,
but what about the reaction? That's the thing. That's the discussion point. The reaction that everybody had in a positive way to the mention of Vince, period.
Well, I say it all the time, and it's something that Jim Cornette has said for a long time, and it fits. I mean, how can you miss me if I don't go away?
Right.
I'm saying, I mean, as long he's done all this stuff, he made all these decisions and done all this stuff, and he's still dealing with a lot of it. But okay, what's the other line that I like to use? You live your life as a hero until you end up as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that goes with everybody. So yeah, he's a villain. He became a villain. I mean, he's a heel. He's always been a heel. He's been a heel for a while. He's probably the greatest heel in WWE history.
Yeah.
Eventually, every heel becomes a babyface.
And the funny thing is, to that point, I agree. TKO made him the babyface.
Right.
So the people who wanted to separate are the ones that set him up, just tee him up perfectly without him saying a word to make him the babyface. Incredible. But the other thing I want to, a couple of things. What do you think about Shane not being there? Because, if he was there, they didn't show him. If he was in the crowd. If he was backstage, I hope he was at least backstage. But seemingly from Stephanie's speech, it looked like he was not there by the way she addressed him, his wife, and their sons. Do you think?
I don't know. I didn't really.
Is Shane side with Vince?
I don't think. I wouldn't read too much into it, other than the fact that I'm thinking Shane might have thought that he might have overshadowed her if he came out. Now let her have a spotlight without him being there.
Okay.
I mean, I would do that if that were one of my brothers doing that. I would be there, but I would want to be, and I had some notoriety of some sort. Then I would play the background and let them have their spotlight. But I don't know. You never know. You never know what the deal is.
True that. So that was the first bit of interesting. The next bit of interesting actually came about 6 to 12 hours later. And that was the reaction from Sid Vicious's son on kind of the way the legacy induction this year. Normally it's a little bit more to it. I guess you had I don't know. I mean, we used to have just the vignettes and stuff like that, but we've talked about it. Sid should be somebody, and this is no disrespect to Bad News Brown, because he should have had his moment a long time ago. But Sid was somebody that you would want to see him stand on stage, just like the Warrior. Have his moment alive, to be able to address his fans, his critics, but to be able to walk out on that stage one more time. And since that wasn't there, it was a vignette, there's a family, and we're done. And Sid's son took a little bit of a issue with that. He didn't like the fact that it was such a gloss over. So what's your thoughts on it? We didn't know how it was going to go down officially, but now that we've watched it, it happened.
I don't think it was the timing so much as how they did it.
Okay.
I think his son was, from the way I read it and the way I looked at it, his son was looking at it more so, why did he have to go to the legacy wing? Why couldn't he be a Hall of Famer straight up?
Right.
He's a former world champion in WCW and in WWE. He's had an impact on professional wrestling for a long period of time during his career.
Yep.
So why wouldn't he be able to be a outright Hall of Famer and be relegated to the legacy wing with just a couple of pictures and a camera shot of the family? That's why he was sitting there and he didn't really react when the camera was on him.
Right.
And they
didn't react when stage tonight either.
Yeah, so it was kind of like he said, it was a slap in the face. It was real disrespectful how they did see it.
Now, if he was going to be inducted live, who would you want to be the person to bring him out?
Who would I want?
That's an interesting one for who's had the most impact with him. Maybe Shawn Michaels, I guess.
Nah, he was on the show.
Who? On the Hall of Fame show?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Arn Anderson.
Well, Arn's taken, so we have to take. I should have put that parameter in there. Somebody that wasn't already on the show, because that would have taken Arn away from another. So you can't use somebody that's already represented. But I do agree with Arn.
I guess Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels, he was Shawn Michaels' heater for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And
I'd say Brett, if Brett wasn't such in a volatile state at some points, I think Brett would be a good one too. That would also get the nostalgia pop, the Canadian pop. Yeah. I think probably it would end up being Shawn Michaels.
It'll probably be Shawn Michaels. I was trying to think if Paul Heyman would be somebody to do it, but
I thought about Paul too, but
I don't recall him being. I don't recall them ever really being together at any point. Even though they were in the same place at the same time, but because he was in Mid-South around the time of Lord Humongous, and I want to say they were
WCW same time.
They were WCW the same time around. That was around the Dangerous Alliance time.
Yeah, and I think when Paul was kind of photographing and just liaisoning a little bit in WWF, they may have crossed paths at some point. Nothing major, just they may have been there or been in relation, in the beginning parts when Sid came in. I think that there was a little bit of a crossover there. Nothing of note, just, okay, they were there type of thing. But I want to say one thing that I missed that we used to look forward to in the Hall of Fame that didn't really happen this year, unless you got enough of it, was the stories. Axe and Smash Demolition's induction had a little bit of story. Stephanie was more oratory and reflective. Rodman was Rodman. I don't know what the hell Rodman said, to be honest with you. AJ kept it short so everybody could get home. But it wasn't really any stories. Did you get that vibe too? Were you disappointed?
They didn't really test with it. Well, I wasn't really disappointed. I mean, it's nice to hear those stories when somebody decides to tell them.
Right.
But I wasn't disappointed that they didn't tell them on that show, because that show was pretty much timed out to where, you know, they needed to go ahead and get on and get off, because they didn't stick around for so long. You know, they wasn't hanging around like they usually do. There was a time you could tell that they were under a time constraint.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, because I'm sure Warlord Haku and Arn would have.
Oh, they could have went long.
The yarn a good while if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I got a question for you.
What's that?
Who better? Dennis Rodman or Thunderbolt Patterson?
Oh shit. Shit. Yeah, they were both a mess. But Thunderbolt was a little bit more. I could understand a little bit more what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
I said Robin was drunk. I don't know what the hell was going on. He was in 4 different places speaking at the same time. Does that make sense? Like I was getting 4 different conversations.
You're absolutely right. He was really disconnected. He was trying to be present while being reflective on the NWO and then reminiscing about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And emotional about being in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, you're right. It was about 4 different places that he was in at that point, and he was just trying to straighten it out as best he could.
But I give him credit. It was good to see. I've never seen maybe KG, if he was here, he could speak to it. But I've never seen a vulnerable like that Dennis Rodman. You know, I've seen him emotional after winning the NBA championship. You know, in that moment, but in a speaking engagement, to see him, you know, lose his composure a little bit. I mean, it was good to see that Rodman, I know it sounds weird, is human. You know, he's been through a lot, but just to see that side of him. But again, also, I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. But it's Dennis Rodman. So I had no high expectations. My question was, I'm just looking to see, are they going to wrap him? Or is he going to work within, you know, his time? That's really the only thing I wanted to see. But other than that, Hall of Fame was Hall of Fame. It teed up something, and then it also left something to be desired, because they tried with the quick framework of Seth and Gunther, and there was no pop at all. I would say this was kind of a lukewarm crowd for the most part. We had a couple little moments here there for Stephanie. AJ got over, but it was kind of a lukewarm crowd. But you know, it was the Hall of Fame. It was still a good thing to see, in my opinion. It got you in the mood, so to speak. Because remember, I wasn't in the mood.
It was what?
2 hours and 25 minutes.
9 o'clock there.
Yeah, midnight over here.
So midnight here. Midnight.
I was energy drinked up because I thought Stephanie would be at the end.
It's late. It's late for a lot of them, and plus, most of those folks had already been through SmackDown
and the WWE world
and any other shows that went on. I mean, and all the other.
No, we can't give them that excuse. 2 years ago, they were on fire. In the past, same situations, they would be on fire. I don't know. It was interesting. I'm not complaining. It was still a good show. Didn't sell out, but it was a good show. But it did get me in the mood for tonight. Took me a little bit to gear up. I know, was it a month ago almost? You know, I was determining whether or not I was going to watch WrestleMania. But I said, you know what? Why not? Why not? It's there. I ain't doing nothing. Let me just go ahead and put it on and just see what the presentation is going to be like, what the vibe is going to be like. We opened with my childhood hero, Jonathan Cena, in a suit. And, he pulled the Vince card. Lucky him, and got to do the welcome to WrestleMania. And then we got into the free hour with ESPN. So I will give that to WWE's credit. They started it off smart. You started off with somebody with mass marketing and visual appeal in John Cena. And then you open right up into the social media aspect to get the eyes locked in. So the first match we had was the Vision and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. I thought it was a decent match. Wasn't the ending that I was expecting, but I thought it was a decent match. What is your thoughts?
It was cool. You had to use I Show Speed in some kind of way, and they incorporated him, I guess, pretty well. This is the first time I've seen a situation like that where they just bullied the third person and try to get him to do what they wanted him to do, and he wasn't really cooperative or whatever, and wound up screwing him over at the end. So it's not the first time I've seen that type of match, but but yeah, it worked out for them pretty good, I guess. They got what they needed out of it. Hopefully we won't have to see too much more of I Show Speed.
No, you'll see him.
I'm sure we will. That's wishful thinking.
I think they'll probably bring him in kind of like, I wouldn't mind seeing him go up against Danhausen. Somebody in his weight class, or where the situation would make sense. Because they started something with the curse and all this stuff, and they can work with that because Speed does so many things. Be it in football, European football, aka soccer, or just in the extreme world of sports and events. You can play into that and let that become something for SummerSlam. So I wouldn't mind seeing him in something that is a little bit more controlled. But after that match for the free hour, then we had the unsanctioned Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, with Fatu going over. It's kind of hard to think of an unsanctioned match and anything can happen and you dress it up in a WWE after we've witnessed somebody being stabbed with a syringe in their mouth in AEW. It's like,
it's hard to take this as an unsanctioned match,
right?
When you had those same two guys throwing each other off of a water towel.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was talking to Raj earlier tonight because he hit me up about one of the matches, and was like, they did more to build the match up than they did in the match.
Yep, should have been a hardcore match.
Yeah, it should have been just a hardcore match, not unsanctioned. Plus, an unsanctioned match is usually the last match on the card,
right? Because you want to tear the house down.
Because, well, not even that, but it's supposed to be like you turn off the lights and you turn them back on, and now the show is over, and you don't have anything. They don't have anything else to do with what's going on in the match. You bring out a referee, you let them do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, go tear the house down. Like,
so
breaking the ring up.
To put an unsanctioned match in the middle of a card is stupid to me. But
they said it should have been a hardcore with trash cans. That's the only thing that would have really put over the top. We should have had the galvanized trash cans and the lids and the kendo sticks. I think that would have went over a little bit more and made more sense. And then, or you want to throw a little nostalgia out there, an ECW style match. That's one thing they haven't said or done in quite some time, is an ECW style match. We've had hardcore, but an ECW gimmick-esque match. But either way, now tomorrow we're going to get into who won the picks. So we're just covering, our thoughts just for the framework for everybody listening and watching. Our thoughts on WrestleMania night one, WrestleMania Saturday. We'll get into, because we had the Four Corner Boys and KG, so make sure that everybody is there for their live reaction to whether or not they got the picks right and who had, obviously, the best wrestling mind for the weekend. But going into the beginning of WrestleMania proper, we had the four-corner women's tag team championship match. Lyra and Bailey, their irresistible forces. We had what do you call it? Charlexa? Yeah, Charlexa.
Yeah.
And the one none of us picked because we're like, well, they're not going to win, the Bella Twins. Now, obviously, we had no freaking clue that Nikki was going to kayfabe be injured or shoot be injured. Don't know. And that will lead to the return of Paige, which will lead to Paige becoming back to become champion immediately. Now, had we have had a crystal ball, I think we all would have picked the Bellas. But how do you feel about Paige coming back? I mean, I'm not even going to worry about her being champion. Damn right. It's been long enough. It's interesting that her and AJ are on the same show, winning and losing championships respectively. But what's your thoughts on Paige finally being back after 8 years?
Well, I saw a couple of days ago online where she had just signed.
Spoilers, I know. I hate the internet.
Yeah, so I kind of knew that there was a possibility of her coming. What could have happened was that it could have been Io Sky in that place if it hadn't worked out with Paige,
right? Because
actually, according to what I've been reading, Io Sky and Asuka were supposed to have a match on this card. So they canceled it and they held it up in case the thing with Paige fell through, or they couldn't, or Nikki wound up getting hurt to where she couldn't get cleared.
Right.
And they were going to throw Io Sky in there, but I guess everything worked out with Paige, and here we are. But I mean, it's good to have her back, especially since AEW chose not to do so much with her. They could have done a lot. They could have done way more than they did, but they chose not to.
Right.
And she's been out for what, 2-3 years now?
Longer than that.
So, yeah, it's good to see her back, and hopefully, she's healthy and she's going to be able to do something within the division. I'm sure they're going to put her and AJ together at some point.
I hope so. But then on the post show, AJ's talking about walking away for a little while. I'm hoping that at least on Monday that we see them cross paths. That's the full circle moment right there that we all deserve. An older, more mature Paige at the same age and respect as to when, Paige beat AJ to become the Divas champion.
Yeah, AJ goes away for a little while and then comes back and goes after one of the titles, world, probably Liv Morgan. Title.
She needs to go after Paige.
No, she can go after Paige, but she needs to go after the world title too.
Why can't Paige have the world championship at that point? We talking down the road.
I mean, that could happen.
That could be a SummerSlam main event, night one.
That could happen. That could happen. But I'm just saying,
she can pull back out the vault, fighting with my family. You know what I'm saying? Get some extra copies of that sold, autograph signings of that. You can have what's her name? Florence Pugh out there, doing autographs and stuff like that. Since she played Paige, The Rock could be there. I mean, you can do some stuff with this, money wise. If it's if they're still charging a crap ton for some tickets, just saying. But what do you think of the match, though? I mean, I'm okay.
The match was good. I mean, I like the entrances. I was laughing at Alexa and Charlotte's entrance where Alexa came out with the little wings, but Charlotte came out with the bigger wings.
Right.
I was laughing at that. Like, I wait for Alexa to be like, Really? this what we doing? I thought we were. Whatever happened to this? You know.
Yeah. No, I thought it flowed well. I agree with you.
And then Nia and Lash with
Irresistible Demolition
with the demolition homage. I thought that was cool.
and in all white. I'm like, y'all doing it up tonight. Y'all are doing it up tonight.
But as far as the match is concerned, yeah, the match was fine. The match was good. I mean, it all revolved around Paige getting into the ring and doing her thing.
Yeah.
You know, she
could have built up that hot tag a little bit more. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, you know, she got all her shit in, and
you know, I joke with my wife. The moment she hit the page turner, I hadn't said that in my mind or thought about that move in at least 8 years. It hadn't come out my mouth. Even, you know, she didn't really do a lot. I mean, she did it, but I mean, even the AEW stuff was what, maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point. So I hadn't really said it, seen it. And as soon as she hit it, first thing out of my mouth, Rampage, you know, Paige Turner. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I remembered that. Like, it just jumped straight into the forefront of my brain. It's like, wow. That shows you how a lot of things can be just hidden in the mind and you don't think about it until literally you just see it happen. And I just commentated on, you know, what the move was called. So pretty exciting, to say the least. But happy to finally have her back. I hate social media and the spoilers. I wish it would have been more kayfabe, like the Hardys when they came out. Man, that was just epic. The way everybody popped. It just feels weird when somebody comes out or comes back and there's already signs.
Well, and you knew it was already out there because of the quickness. It was just Nikki was like, "I'm not cleared, but guess what?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, what the point in suspending that, suspending it all. So he's just like, here you go.
Yep. Again, happy to have her back. Well, let's talk about Seth and Gunther. That's another one. I thought that was a good, dare I call it a strong style match. They hit hard, they hit harder, and they kept hitting. But, well, we're not getting to the picks. But Braun coming back was not something that we talked about a week ago.
Right.
That was the icing on the interesting cake. But it made sense, in my opinion, because it protected both parties. Gunther protected, he won because of. Seth protected, he lost because of. So It's a neutral wash, but still a great match with zero buildup, truthfully. But they delivered on just the action and engagement. Even Seth's entrance, I thought, was pretty dynamic with the smoke pack and the jacket. I was like, they called it Game of Thrones. I thought it was a Mortal Kombat homage because it was sponsored by Mortal Kombat. But what'd you think? Did you enjoy it? I thought it was going to be a bathroom match, but it wasn't.
It would have been a bathroom match, but like you said, the entrance of Braun Breaker saved it. Mm-hmm. Because so now some people are going to think that there was a throwaway match because of Braun Breaker coming in, but he actually saved the match for both of them, because for one of them to win clean would have messed up the other one.
Yep. So all the momentum would have been gone.
So for him to come in and gum up the works a little bit and give Gunther the win, give Gunther the opportunity to put the sleeper on, you know, it saved both of them. It saved the whole match, because otherwise it would have been a bathroom match and it wouldn't have counted for anything, and it wouldn't have meant anything to anybody, but you know, deflating their momentum as far as building them up, because both of them need building at this point, you know, to try to get to where they need to be. This could have been a setback for both of them, but they wound up working it out to where, you know, now Seth has Braun Breaker to come back to. Gunther can go and do whatever go after whoever he's going to go after next, and there's no nobody is less for it.
I agree. Another match that was kind of interesting, the pace of it, and the psychology of it, but I was happy with the way it ended. Becky versus AJ, and we got KG talking about night one was great, so we know night two is going to be trash. I don't know. I think for the first time in a while, night two is going to come through. Night one was okay, but I think the emotional roller coaster that we're going to go on at 6 p.m. tomorrow, live on ESPN, free for everybody, Oba versus Brock, that's going to tee it up. We're going to be blown up by the end of that match, hopefully. And then everything else in between is just going to give us time to recoup until we get to CM Punk versus Roman. And if we get pandemic Roman, prime bloodline Roman, I think it's going to be insane. But AJ versus Becky, were you happy with it?
It was an okay match. I mean, I really couldn't get into it for some reason. I don't know why.
Was it Jessica Carr?
It may have been with the because usually when a referee gets involved in a match like that, it's really distracting,
right?
And she's been involved in a lot of their matches, and I know this was probably the culmination of that. But if Becky's going to go after Jessica Carr, let's just have you have a match.
Right. That's what I thought they were going to do. They keep not wanting to pull the trigger on it, even though we've seen Jessica not dress up, but wrestle under a mask as, was it Elix or something, an interesting name, at NXT or Evolve. I'm sorry, she was wrestling in Evolve, but I don't know. It's like it was right there. I don't know, but I'm okay that the turnbuckle did its job, so that way we wouldn't be complaining that a referee is getting involved and doing wrestling moves on the man, and that's the reason why. So I could kind of get it. I'm okay with it. Are you okay with Liv Morgan being champion?
I am very okay with Liv Morgan being champion.
Are you okay with the way that Liv Morgan became champion? Or was it just expected? You knew that was going to be the case.
It was expected. It was expected. You had to know that at some point it was going to be Roxanne, Raquel, or Dom at some point, or a combination of the three.
Right.
So somebody's going to come out there to help her at some point. So I mean, it is Judgment Day. So my whole thing was, where did this music video come from? What was the point of the video? What was the point of the music video?
Just to show that she's got other avenues, kind of like her reinvention.
Why incorporated into this match for WrestleMania? It's a distraction. And if they were going to do it, why wouldn't they put it out sooner so Stephanie could use it against her in promos?
Agreed. Yep.
You going around doing these music videos and making all this music and whatnot. You don't want this belt. You're not thinking about me. You're not thinking about WrestleMania. You're doing this to promote your music. The only reason you're in this match is to promote this music.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it was unnecessary. It could have waited, but I guess if you're gonna put it out with the most eyes on you. So
yeah,
I guess they accomplished that much, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it went the way it was going to go, but now we get into, I guess this is almost for the main event, the Brock Lesnar Cena match to me. That's kind of how emotionally I felt with this Randy Orton Cody Rhodes match. Because remember, Brock Cena, we went to just 0 to Suplex City. And we never left Suplex City. And then it was over. This match, we went from, well, I think if you were present, you may not have gotten it until it just became self-evident that there was something wrong. But I didn't get it until Michael Cole said, well, it's kind of been reported or rumored that Randy Orton was having back issues. So if you're watching WrestleMania, you got the framework for it. So that way you understood why things were a little bit more methodical from the Cody Rhodes standpoint, from the slow pace, from the Matt tactician standpoint of putting together a match. Like if there was a producer, I'd say it had to be somebody OG, like an Arn Anderson or somebody that put together that match for that psychology to go that way. For the tides to quickly turn, Cody to play heel, Orton just played injured, not face or heel. He was just playing injured, and Cody was capitalizing on the injury. We got color the hard way or kayfabe, but either way, we got the color, and we just stayed in that pocket. And I like it. We were in the right pocket. What we didn't need was Pat McAfee. When he came back as a ref, for what? In the beginning part with the jump, okay. Once he got the crossroads, didn't need to see him anymore. I would have rather it had been a member of the Vision. Somebody else.
But you gotta realize you have to eliminate Pat McAfee in some way.
Yeah, they eliminated him, but then they brought him back.
No, but they eliminated him for good when he got hit with the RKO.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I guess true.
So we should not be seeing Pat McAfee anymore anytime soon. Because even he said, if Randy does not win this match, I'm not coming back. You'll never see me again.
Right.
So if he holds to that, then that on top of the RKO and Randy had turned on him, we shouldn't see any more Pat McAfee. But then you also have Randy punting Cody.
But they screwed that up. You saw the screw up, right?
Tell me.
The screw up is the whole purpose of Randy and being a legend killer. He punted people, they were out. Ambulance came down, they got carried out, they ran from the back. It's like he just murdered somebody. He just punted Cody Rhodes, bleeding in the back of the head, Cody, and nobody came out. All we got was him standing over. And then, if you were watching the post show, there's a shot with Jackie Redmond. Cody's behind her, walking up the ramp. You killed the gimmick inadvertently. So the punt now was just basically an extra RKO. Does that make sense? It
was out of frustration. It was done out of frustration, and you can always say he wasn't able to put all the way he wasn't able to fully put it on because of his back.
Is that what you're going with?
That's what I'm going with. Because if it was done, even now, you could say that it was enough to take Cody out for a few weeks so he can do some promotion for this Street Fighter movie.
True.
That's the reason why I thought they did the punt.
He's going to Disney World. He's going somewhere. But
that's the reason why I thought they pulled out the punt, because he hadn't done that punt in a while.
But they did swerve a sumo. Because normally, when we see Cody was coming out, he was already in tears. I don't know if you picked up on that. his emotions as he was coming up with that entrance, that dude was crying. Then he came down, did his normal pomp and circumstance, but there's Brandy and Liberty. He lost it again. I'm like, oh, snap. This dude about to lose this championship. It's like there's a little too much emotion going on right now. I'm expecting him to go ahead, Randy wasn't about to get it by hook or by crook and call it a day. But, they swerved me on that one. Because I think we all picked Randy when it came down, to this match. Nobody was expecting Cody to walk out. But, there's always a fighting chance. But,
but again, here's another match where slowly but surely we're getting heel Cody.
Yep.
It's coming out more and more. Every big match he has, it's coming out more and more.
Should his hair start turning little by little?
That face he makes, he likes to make that devilish face. Mm-hmm. He likes to make that smile and whatnot. It's slowly coming out. And when he had the helmet on, he kept the helmet on for a good while. And I was waiting for that helmet to come off and see if his hair was still blonde.
Yeah. Do you think he should start having a little colorization in his hair? As it goes forward?
At some point, yeah, like a dark streak.
Yep.
In it, or like a little patch, like a patch of brown somewhere where it's visible. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping he would lose, because I think it would be better chasing. I mean, the nut shot that technically they shouldn't have done that replay on, because you saw the kayfabe of it. But I don't know. I like I said, I like the technical setup of the match. I get it. However, like I said, I think it may have started flat for those that were there that wouldn't have understood why Randy was not so aggressive in the beginning. Mm. But then, like I said, eventually it started making sense across the board for watching on TV or being present. But the ending, I still would have rather Randy have won. I think they played it safe, keeping the belt on Cody.
Yeah.
But I get it also, because you want your champion out there with to your credit, out there promoting a movie, wearing the belt, wearing his gal outfit like he was at WWE World this weekend. So that's our champion. It's out there in the media for arguably one of the largest worldwide video games of all time in reference to a brand. Yeah, you want to have the belt on him. That's a Hulk Hogan move right there. Vince did it many moons ago, keeping the belt on Hogan and sending him all over the place. But yeah, Hollywood, I agree. Pat wasn't necessary, but that was outside of WWE. That was all TKO, just to try to put butts in seats. And that's where I want to end the show with Sumo 50,816-17. It was reported that they did give some comp tickets out to the military. So that was pretty cool. It looked full. So they filled it for filming. But do you think that it was last minute and they only had to fill a little bit of seats? Or do you think they had some work to do just to try to make it look full by hook or by crook?
Well, you notice they moved a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They had what? They had the General was a sponsor. They moved people.
Yep.
You had Drumstick was a sponsor. They moved people. You had there was one other one. I can't remember what it was though. But there were at least 3 or 4 sponsors that moved folks down to the front. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure they reconfigured some stuff and moved some people forward and pushed some people, down to, so yeah, I'm sure they did some things to make it aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about WWE is they know how to frame a shot. And that's the one thing, AEW from time to time has an issue with. It's very hard. You have to be hard pressed to catch WWE doing a shot, either with the boom cam or now with the drones and all that stuff, where they're going to expose how empty a section is. AEW, they still got some challenges on that one, but they do know how to frame a shot to be able to, with the hard cam and side and also the non-hard cam side, on how to get those shots in to make it look the way they need to present. So I'll give them credit. But probably what you gonna say?
Well, speaking of looking good,
are you going where I'm going with it?
Let's not gloss over.
I'm about to go there. If that's
let's not gloss over something.
I'm not. That's why, if you notice, I said the dash.
You said the dash. Yep.
Yeah. I'm literally about to go there because that was my highlight of the night,
man. Because did we not call this?
Yes, we better.
I talked about this for months.
We bet, like we was about to pull Montez's mail card for real,
right?
Like, dude, if you couldn't land this with time and opportunity, somebody else need to jump in and tag for real. You need the hot tag. But I'm so glad that Bianca Belair, the moment I saw her come out and she ain't start skipping, like she pregnant. You can see it in her face. She had the glow, and just because I'm me, you could see that she didn't have the her normal muscular stature in her legs. She looked like she had put on the proper weight if you were carrying a child. And lo and behold, I'd say what did you say? Maybe she's like 4 months. 5 months.
I will defer to you and KG on that. I have no clue as to how far along she been going for a while. She's been baking for a while now, though. But you say 4 or 5 months. I go with you on that.
I'd have to give her that just by the size of the baby bump. So that means, truthfully, we won't see Bianca until next year. She'll be a Royal Rumble entrant, because we got two things going now. She's got to manage, and just like we prayed and wished the best for Naomi, same thing for Bianca, but she's got to manage, all the things that come with the baby, and she's got to manage the finger thing, which is going to be tied into how they manage the baby. So she will be an automatic high risk pregnancy by default. So her blood pressure, everything is going to be heavily scrutinized to be able to make sure that she crosses that finish line in the 9th month, 36-week, fine. And then from there, they'll probably deal with the finger issue. Hopefully it still doesn't have to be cut off. We saw, I don't know if you noticed, it was taped.
It was taped to match her outfit. Yeah, right. But yeah.
It wasn't bulge tape. It was just, it looked like there was some gauze, and then you had the blue sparkly tape around it to match. But I'm happy. She looked good. She was emotional. The crowd welcomed her as always. John Cena, I don't think he knew, so he popped. And then he was John Cena after that. But his surprise. Cena's an okay actor, but he ain't that damn good. So I'm like, he didn't know. Like, how you ain't get that, John? But I guess he ain't trying to have kids, so he's not trying to be.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
No. You can tell. He almost looked like, is it mine?
Oh, shit. I don't think Montez would be too keen on that.
I'm just saying that's the level of surprise Cena had on his face when she came down. But definitely, hopefully everybody that's watching, that's listening, keep them, in your prayers. That not only, because this could be also troublesome with the finger thing, depending. But like I said, it's a high risk. It's just keep them in the prayers that the baby's healthy, and then after that, they can solve the finger thing with surgery or whatever they need to do. I mean, Lord knows if they can replace Hogan's hips and get him walking again and stuff like that, and they can figure out a way for Shawn Michaels to wrestle and Edge. I mean, they can figure it's a damn finger. They can figure this out. If not, give her a bionic one and let's just call it a day. I don't care what you do. But let's get her back for the Royal Rumble and make sure that, she's competing. But with her being back, that opens the lane tomorrow for Naomi. Jade v Rhea. There's a lane open. If we saw one that can't compete, there's one that is due to come back that can. I would expect Naomi to hopefully knock on wood to have a presence tomorrow.
We'll have to see on that. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure that that's going to happen, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, Hollywood also saw that glow. That so we all knew that she was pregnant. But the call is still possibly Naomi helps Rhea, then turns on Rhea right after. That way she keeps her gimmick intact. Caution. Be ready. So tomorrow we've got some heavy hitters. Again, I think make sure that you have potentially enough gas in the tank, because we're all going to get blown up in the first 30 minutes. Oba versus Brock. Actually, I wouldn't call it 30. I'd probably call it the first 15, because we need 45 for a ladder match. The first 15 minutes, we're going to get blown up. It's going to be a hard-hitting banger. Emotionally, I think if they're smart and if the right person, the right road agent gives the proper treatment, it could be almost up to the wire, kind of like what we saw tonight with Cody v. Randy, that Oba is going to be on the ropes, quote unquote, until the final hour, and then he's going to pull it out. Or Oba's winning and Brock wins and they screw us. But either way, I think we're going to get blown up, and we're just going to take the rest of the night until the video package for CM Punk and Roman Reigns for us to get back. So have an energy drink, do what you need to do. You may want to pee before, or you may have to take a nap or something like that. But I'm telling you in advance, you will be emotionally drained in the first 15 minutes. By 6:15 Sunday mothership time, you're going to be tired emotionally. And that's what WrestleMania is all about. Good luck to everybody else that follows that match up until not Cody v. Roman. So we're so used to that. CM Punk v. Roman. Any final thoughts on tonight or expectations for tomorrow? I know you'll be in transition, doing your thing with Uncle Sam, but any thoughts?
I'm hoping that I can at least watch the Oba Brock match before I get on my way back home.
Okay.
From work tomorrow. That's about the only match that I'm really anticipating for tomorrow. That one and the Punk match, but everything else in between, whatever. But we'll see how it goes. Well, like you said, hopefully tomorrow will be a better night than tonight was. Just for the fact that it should be, and we'll see where it goes.
I agree, and I will also put out there, you may want to keep a close little micro eye on the Demon versus Dominic. I think they may surprise us. Balor's Balor. But I think the story that they tell and how they frame it for Dominic to be something extraordinary. I think his time in AAA that he's been doing down there and being able to be the heel's heel and to come across, that match may surprise us out of nowhere.
Maybe.
My
whole mindset is to the fact that the Demon doesn't win. The Demon doesn't win matches,
right? So
we'll just have, like you said, we'll just have to see.
I think also because we will have the Four Corner Boys on tomorrow, but I think if there's any match to inject a Danhausen, that would also be the one. Makes sense.
That one and not the ladder match.
If there's a vignette or something backstage between Danhausen and Dominic, somehow that could be some interaction there that could also play into that storyline.
You think it would be that one and not the ladder match?
The way it's looking now, yeah. Just because they need something extra. The Demon comes out, does his entrance. Dominic does his thing. We already know the normal playbook. Dominic's going to have JD. He's going to have Liv. He's going to have Roxanne and everybody else, with him in the corner. Balor's going to be over here. Okay, the Demon's going to do the Demon things, but that's all you're going to give us? I think there's more to it than that. I wouldn't, maybe
we didn't see him tonight, so we definitely got to see him tomorrow.
He could be under the ring. They pull the table out, and there he is, and he does a curse.
He did have a presence.
Yeah, with the blimp.
Shown, but he had a presence with the blimp, but he wasn't shown at all. So.
Right. So I don't know. I'm gonna be interesting. If nothing happens with that, it's neither here nor there. But at the same time, I think they have the opportunity to make some magic. Again, we're blown up from the first 15 minutes. So if you give me something to get reinvigorated right in the middle, maybe match 4, then I'm cool with that, because that gives me something else to get the adrenaline going, the mind pumping, to make my way towards the end of WrestleMania. So we'll be front heavy.
And I don't want to stretch the show out, but it kind of upset me in the first match.
What's that?
That Cameron didn't show up like he said he would.
Oh, yeah. That ain't happening. My wife asked me
why wouldn't it?
Like, it's
why wouldn't it? Sometime during that match, him, Mace, and the whole bunch of their goons were supposed to come down the ramp and at least show their face. They wasn't even in the building.
If it was a shoot, they would have pulled that trigger. But with it being a work, it was just part of the WrestleMania experience.
But even if it being a work, it's happened in the past. It happened with Jay Leno. It happened with Cohen O'Brien. So it's not like there's not a precedent. True,
but they're also tone deaf to some of that. They're little. Travis Scott ruined it for a lot of people.
Oh, wait a minute. Hollywood said, what did he say? The police wouldn't let him in. He responded, but the police wouldn't let him in.
They let him in. Because that's one of those situations that's OG. They wouldn't let me in, but I bought a ticket. He could have got one off Tick Picks. So he could have been in there if they wanted to happen, because it makes for good TV.
Oh, so they pulled the WCW invasion.
No, I just think they were tone deaf. They did the right thing by getting the gimmick out there. Same thing with how you gonna go ahead, Cody, and vandalize Pat McAfee's set but not go to jail. Really? You're not gonna show up and have the police there in the middle of the match and cause a scene, get him handcuffed, and Randy Orton start beating him with the handcuffs? That would have been very entertaining. And then, while he's handcuffed, RKO, the match is still going on. 1, 2, 3. Nobody ever said it was a DQ because he's getting arrested. So, they do what they want to do. But I think they were a little still tone deaf to that. But we'll see. We'll see. Because, technically, in OG terms, somebody should got the ass whipped. They should have met him outside.
Because it was funny to me. It was funny. The whole thing was funny to me. Cameron talking all this trash. They talking about, yeah, I'm a world champion by myself. I ain't got no. I'm an only child. I'm a world champion by myself. I do my dirt all by my lonely. And all of a sudden he get jacked up, and he on the ground like he didn't even get hit.
I know, right?
But
there's also some crazy stuff in the air, because I don't know if you, in the same vein, saw that Ice Spice thing, to which I don't even.
Yeah, I saw the Ice Spice thing too. Yeah,
it's like, yo,
why are you out? Why are you out in this day and age with your mama and no security?
There you go. Is the big arch meal that good? That you like, no, I don't need y'all. I need to go ahead and get this on my own. Like, what are you doing? You're international, superstar. You can't go to these places by yourself, especially trying to claim the streets. You're trying to talk tough. Somebody going to try you.
Right.
And at that very moment, she realized she fucked up. It's like, come on. So somebody in her camp should have been like, we'll go with you. Somebody should have been strapped.
Watch you from afar or something. Yeah.
Something. Because
you want to be on your own. We'll just watch you from a distance, but still.
Yeah. But, I applaud her for wanting to be normal for a moment, but you ain't normal the moment you sell millions of copies and you in Fortnite. Sorry. Somebody gonna try you. Ask Cameron. He talks some shit.
And then May should have got a slap too.
Nah,
he's slipping little stuff in. Trying to be.
No, Mace knows. I gotta stay a little bit further away from the smoke because I'm too close to the baby oil. So,
but did you see the whole thing though?
I didn't catch the whole thing.
Okay, because they had another guest on the show, right?
Okay.
So they went to the next guest, and they come back and they show Cameron. He's got a hat on now with some kind of cold compress sticking out of it like this here. And he says, "Yo, man, where were you? Where were you when all this was going on?" He's like, Mace was like, "Yo, I was right there. I pulled him off of you. I'm right there."
You just was so slippery because I still am baby oil adjacent.
I'm sitting there like, no, what you need it for? You doing it by your lonely, remember?
Right.
You're world champion on your own by yourself.
That's
what
right.
You need folks for? Ain't nobody help me. All y'all standing around and ain't nobody help me.
Go ahead, boss. You on your own. Go ahead, boss.
He talked all that trash, and I know this is a work. I know this is a work, but it was just the way that it worked. It worked out. I mean, it was just the way that it was done. It was just like, oh man, that was so funny.
Yeah. I will say this is the most entertaining side business that they've done at WrestleMania or lead up to WrestleMania. There's a lot of ESPN. I Show Speed had some. He was crazy. Liv Morgan came on this thing, and I'm like, Speed, what did you just say? He's like, man, I'm scared. I need some tips. Liv gave him some tips, and as she was leaving, he was like, man, I just hope after the match I don't look like you. I'm like, damn, because he was asking her about the whelp on the forehead and the two black eyes. I'm like, dang, you had to go off on Liv like that. So they had so many funny moments. It's like, okay, you got that part right. We just tweaked up some things. Now, if we would have done that in the lead up, you probably would have sold more tickets. But we'll see. But tomorrow, night 2, they also gave us the official word, whether you like it or not, that Riyadh season is going to be WrestleMania season for the 42, 43, whatever it is. So, next year it's official. We've got the logo and all that stuff. What's up, Raj? So we'll get into that maybe tomorrow and all year long, talking about our emotions and our feelings about an American institution going overseas for 2 nights. And the big question that when I saw that logo was, does that mean I have to be up at 3:00 in the freaking morning just to watch WrestleMania?
Yep. That's what that means. It's going to be on their time, not yours.
Because that ain't going to work for the entirety of the United States of America. Like, I got to be, what? 3 to what? What the hell is a morning WrestleMania? I should not be getting done with WrestleMania and having breakfast. Real breakfast. Not late night diner or it's late at night. I just want some cereal or something. We're talking, is that, what the hell is that? The rooster and all that. What the hell? I need some orange juice. I'm going to the Waffle House and I can see my way there. That ain't gonna work for me. So hopefully they figured that part out. They got 12 months to figure that part out too.
No figuring
Because
it
a lot of
out.
stuff
They
that
no
sucks.
figuring it out. They
Just gonna give it to
letting
us.
you know now. Get your rest.
Yeah.
Start resting up now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna have a late night, buddy.
Yeah. Dang, 3 to 6 a.m.
You just like you said earlier. You better take your nap. Get your food. Get whatever food you gonna get ready. Get it ready.
They better have a good. The Hall of Fame class better be huge. Because I ain't gonna stay up for that shit.
Yeet.
What? They ain't no yeeting. Get out of here.
Yeet.
Get out of
You
here.
be yeeting on that pillow.
That's right. Tell them you eat them grades. How about that? Go ahead. Over here yeeting. Yeah, they no yeet. So, folks, that's night one. That's us. You know, we appreciate y'all checking in with us, getting the recap of what happened tonight. Tomorrow, like I said, just be ready. By 6:15, if you still have some energy, man, congratulations. You're an athlete. Everybody else is going to be emotionally drained, hopefully. Or they could hit us with a TBS time frame, 6:05, match over, because Brock went to Suplex City and got his ass whipped. That would also be interesting as well. Or what Sumo always expects. Yeah, over loses. Just, for the culture.
No. Oh, I'm telling you, hey, for the
culture. We rioting.
For the culture. if over loses, we riot.
That's right. God daggone right. That Monday afterwards, it's going to be a misunderstanding up in there. Telling you now. But either way.
We're gonna be downtown picketing with Black Lives Matter and anybody else that wants to join in. It's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Showing up at the back door like DX with a tank. Like, y'all better let us in, goddammit. So for the big guy KG, who's on a special assignment, fortunately, he had to go to Costco. He ran out of Hot Pockets, and then he got stuck in traffic. It happens. That's, life in DC. For the Nubian Sumo, me, I'm the people's choice. I'm always going to tell you to diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.